You're watching Pittsburgh Steelers Talk, and we are this close to 14,000 subscribers here on the number one fastest growing Steelers YouTube channel out there. When you subscribe, you get the best daily Steelers videos all for free. We know a lot of you watch the show but aren't actually subbed. So if you haven't already, hit that big red button right now. Today's show is presented by Aura, the all-in-one digital safety tool to help protect you and your family from hackers and protect your financial information and identity online. They are giving you a free trial, 14 days worth, cancel at any time at aura.com/chatsports. That link, by the way, will be in the comments section and in the description. Today's show focuses in on 5 free agents who could start for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But before we get to that, I'd like to ask you guys questions. It's fun to get to know the audience here. Who was the starting quarterback when you started watching the Steelers? Now, my guess is that most people are going to end up saying Big Ben, given how long he's been around the NFL and been the starting QB for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I am curious if we get maybe some Neil O'Donnell ones, which is not the best name out there. Maybe some Tommy Maddoxes or Cordell Stewart / There should be some fun names in this. So let me know in the comments who was the starting QB when you began watching the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like mentioned, 5 free agents who I think right now, well, one's still in the playbook, who could start for the Pittsburgh Steelers on both offense and defense. First up, a name that many of you have mentioned before in the comments section. That is offensive tackle Eric Fisher. The reason I like Fisher is I don't even think you have to be out on Dan Moore to have interest in adding Fisher. Now, he was not the best last year, allowed more sacks than you want. I would also like to point out that, Carson Wentz is maybe not the best at making great decisions in the pocket, and sacks are often a quarterback stat, but he was a good run blocker. And that is where the biggest upgrade comes when you compare Fisher's numbers to Dan Moore's numbers. The run grade, and look, we use PFF because, well, nobody else does offensive line stats, so that's the numbers we have with the TV guys' data points. So Fisher isn't like a home run. That's why he's unsigned. That's why we're in June, and a potential starting caliber left tackle is unsigned. He's not the guy he was at his absolute best in KC. But competition is a good thing. Adding talent, adding options to push players, especially young guys, is never a bad idea. Now, the contract has to be worked out, I know, but I think the money could work out pretty well for all sides involved. And at minimum, now you've got an elite swing tackle if you were to sign Eric Fisher, but I think could start over Dan Moore for at least 1 year. Now, if you're like me and you love competition, show it by liking today's video, because this is part of a competition here at Chat Sports. Whatever channel gets the most likes this month ends up winning. So if you like NFL competition and you like winning competitions for us here at Chat Sports, show it by liking the video right now. Let's go to linebackers now. A.J. Johnson. Now, Myles Jack is going to start for this team, but I am a bit surprised that A.J. Johnson, who started, by the way, Alexander Johnson, a.k.a. AJ, just to be clear, there's always some name confusion I've seen out there, but Johnson has started games in Denver in the past, and he's never been an elite coverage player, but he gets a lot of tackles for you. He's typically around the football, can blitz a little bit as well, is a flawless fit in a 3-4 defense. And I know some of you are not out on Devin Bush, and I'm not either, but he wasn't good last year. Maybe you want to give Buddy Johnson a chance. I'm all down for that idea too. But I do think that A.J. Johnson would be an instant upgrade over Devin Bush and give the Steelers a more veteran-proven option than what they truly have right now on the roster. And if you're out on Devin Bush, I mean, I get it. It wasn't a good showing last year at all. So assuming Myles Jack is linebacker 1, which I think we all agree with, Who would you rather have starting at linebacker? Type in AJ for Alexander Johnson or type in DB for Devin Bush. Today's show, like we mentioned, is presented by Aura. They offer a ton of great options, including financial fraud protection, identity theft protection, and online and device security in their all-in-one safety tool. It is very easy these days to have your credit card information get stolen, and now you're trying to deal with the bank and then the credit card like, oh, well, did you spend this money when you were 400 miles away? No, of course I didn't, and yet it's still a hassle. Aura helps protect you from having to deal with that. Free trial, by the way, 14 days, cancel at any time at aura.com/chatsports. That link will be in the comment section, and it will be in the description of today's video for you to start your free trial today. With Stephon Tuitt retired, we're going to look heavily at defensive line options. Two different styles. First up, Larry Ogunjobi, who had signed that massive deal with the Chicago Bears, one that approached or was over $40 million over 3 years. Then he failed his physical. He remains unsigned now in June. You feel terrible for the guy. And the medical, obviously, is a huge potential red flag here. I like Ogunjobi the most as a pass rusher. And the injuries are a red flag. So here's my proposal. Maybe Ogunjobi isn't good to go in week 1. That is a very real concern if he's healthy or not. What about this idea, though? What about this package here? On pass rushing downs, you're obviously going to have Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, probably Alex Highsmith out there as your 4-man front in sub packages. What if you just use Ogunjobi in that role as almost a pure sub situation pass rusher? Look, Tyson Alulu, Chris Wormley, they can help stop the run. We'll see what DeMarvin Leal can offer in year 1, but there isn't a proven second pass rusher really on this roster beyond, of course, the superstar stud and Cam Hayward, who I know wants to be included in the conversation with Aaron Donald. That's a different conversation for a different day. But getting another pass rushing focused option. And I know that Chris Wormley last year had 7 sacks. I know that he did. I believe that was a flash in the pan because his entire career before that, he had 3.5 and his quarterback hits were only 10. That's a bit indicative of, to be honest, some lucky sack numbers. So I think that regresses back to the mean. And to help prevent that from happening, I think Ogunjobi would be a great addition as a rotation piece and could start, quote-unquote, in your sub packages. So would you sign Larry? Type S for sign or type in P for pass. How about maybe the biggest name on this list, Ndamukong Suh, the defensive lineman. Suh, even as he hits his age 35 season, he's still really good at football. Can be out there for 3 downs. Maybe not the full high-level snap count, but he would be, I think, your second best defensive lineman. Again, apologies to Chris Wormley. Apologies to Tyson Alulu. Who here thinks Ndamukong Suh is better than those 2 guys? I do. Now, 3 years from now? No, it's not going to be the case. But he could play both nose guard and defensive end in a 3-4 front. That's what he did some in terms of nose guard, but mainly was that in Tampa with their 3-4 front. So the idea of adding a proven impact defensive lineman in Suh, man, you put Ndamukong Suh, Cam Hayward, TJ Watt up front. Isn't that one of the best defensive lines in the entire NFL? All right, last up, Antonio Brown. I'm kidding. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, since seems like Joe Hayden's not going to come back. Rhodes had a very fascinating career where he went and was a long-time Viking. And then his career looked like he was cooked. He was a Pro Bowler in 2019, I think it was. It was a joke. He had no business being in the Pro Bowl. He was bad that year. Then he goes to Indy and revitalizes his career. I am not sold on Levi Wallace. I am sold on Ahkello Witherspoon, however. I would love to add one more corner, proven outside option to start. I think Rhodes could absolutely be that guy. So that was my top 5 list, but I want to hear from you guys. We're a show for the people after all. Head to the comments section and let me know a free agent who you want the Pittsburgh Steelers to go sign.